So we're excited to get kicked off on Friday this week. The girls have worked really hard. We returned a lot of our starters from last year. I feel like last year we were a little young, and I still feel like we're a little bit young, but we got a lot of experience, and obviously 2 upperclassmen beside me. But really excited to get the season started, and hopefully some warmer weather.
Coach, obviously you don't want to play here this start of the year. You scheduled another out-of-state tournament to start the year. What are you looking to get from this group to open the season this weekend?
Yeah, looking to get a lot of energy out of them, to be excited to throw and play against someone besides ourselves. They've worked really hard. They've grinded. Now the hope is that they trust the process, and they go out there and play, have fun, and compete.
Coach, last year, like you said, it was a younger squad, but you were able to see how quickly they were able to come together. A little bit of the same story here, like a lot of new faces as well to the people who returned from last year. Just give us a little bit about like some of those girls who we can see out on the field here soon.
Yeah, last year when Jenna Blanton went down with an injury, she was hitting .545 at the time, and a leadoff that was instant offense. So that was a little painful at the time to lose that in our lineup. But we ended up starting 7 underclassmen, and so we kind of went through the grind with them. And it's a big step up from high school to college. Obviously, very talented players, but the game moves a little faster. The pressure's a little bit more. And I thought by the end of the season they really, really grew. And I thought we probably reached our max last year. And so for this season, we returned everyone that started last year besides Randy Drennan, that was our catcher for 4 years. We've got a lot more experience. I would say the comfortability in a good way, not in a complacency type way, it is nice because they know the drills, they know the routine, they know that things can get mundane at times when you're inside because of the snow. But they've had great attitudes. Obviously the 2 beside me are leaders and have had a wonderful career so far. Obviously Maddie's one of our 2 seniors, but we got a couple transfers in to add to the mix and some freshmen. So I think it'll be fun to see the depth of our team. I would say last year one of the things that I thought we could be better at was we needed more depth and someone to push the person behind them. I do believe iron sharpens iron, so I feel like we have that in a positive way. They're team players, and that's one thing that we hope to get all throughout the season.
Maddie, as one of the 2 seniors, how do you kind of assess everything going in there? How's this mix been so far?
I think just assessing and just looking overall, I think we've prepared the last couple of months, and I think we've worked really hard, and I'm really excited for this upcoming season.
Macy, for you, you're bringing back a big chunk in that offense. What are you looking to accomplish this season?
I'm just hoping to be the best I can for the team and hopefully just supply some run support for our pitchers so that way it makes their life a little bit easier. So,
Macy, you came in and been a pretty heavy hitter for the tops since you've been here. Is that kind of more predominantly like the role that you're still going to be playing going into this season?
I think so, yes. My job is to score people, and I think our offense does a great job of getting on base, so that makes my life a lot easier. So I think so, yes.
For any of y'all, weather is always going to be a factor around here this time of year, but it feels like this year particularly has been a little different in that you've had almost 2 weeks now of cold and having to be indoors. What's that been like, and what's kind of the mindset going, from this 2 weeks of being indoors because of the weather to just going right out and playing 4 games this weekend?
I think as a part of it, obviously we chose softball over any other sport. I'm not sure if we're the brightest people to choose this sport whenever you play 56 games and you fail a lot. Hopefully it prepares us for life, but I think they've had great attitudes. Having a place to go and practice pretty much at will is wonderful for our team. Nothing's like getting on the dirt, and nothing's like competition. But you can't recreate that even if you were outside. I was joking, obviously Kat Smith, Kat Downing, and with Coach K about I'm getting a little 2015 vibes with all this snow. And I was like, those are pretty good vibes to have. So, we had to deal with it then, and it's just a part of it. So we don't really dwell on it. And they do a great job of doing extra, like grinding, understanding what it's like to, I would say we were okay last year, to now what's it going to take for us to step up and be, a top contender in this conference. And they've accepted challenge as well. They get along really well, so that's fun for me. You want them to love each other through the good and the bad. And then they do a really good job of that. Is it ideal? No, I'd rather be in sunny weather outside, but it's just a part of it. And so I think they've handled it well. I don't know if they want to answer it. For pitching, it's pretty easy.
I think overall we're just trying to do the best what we can. Like, we can't control the weather, so we just try to control what we can control. So like practicing extra, going in extra, and getting every rep and being purposeful with every rep. I think that's what our team has been doing well over the last 2 weeks with all the snow. So I'm really proud of them for that.
Sorry. I think Coach T does a great job of having us do different things every day, so that way we're not always getting complacent with doing the same thing. We get to go live and have our pitchers in the indoor, and I think that's a great opportunity for us to just get in the mindset of competing and being on the field again. So I love the indoor. It's a great place.
Coach, you have your senior right next to you, but just talk a little bit about the pitching staff that you have.
Yep.
We know that Rylan did undergo surgery in the off season, but she should be back ready to go. But you have Maddie, who's a senior, and you do have some depth there. Just how has that developed in the off season? Yeah,
obviously this is Maddie's finale. I would say one thing about Maddie is she's very determined. She works hard. Even if I asked her to catch a bullpen, she would. That's very rare for a pitcher to do that. Sometimes I have to blow her back a little bit. But I would say Maddie's gotten better every year. And so when you start to look at pitching and growth, and you don't want them to go backwards, obviously, but I feel like she's grown. She's had a great winter break workouts. She's kind of zoned in. So we're trying to get to the point where she enjoys it and doesn't overanalyze, and it's okay if you throw one bad pitch, so it's going to happen. But she's done a really good job of leading the pitching staff. Obviously, you mentioned Rylan. She's had a journey, and she's been resilient. And I would say, Maddie and Rylan both been resilient in different ways. But getting her back into it, she's worked really hard. She was determined to play. And so, she's a competitor, and that's what she wants to do. But it may take her a little bit to get back to the good old Rylan. But she's done a nice job. And then we have Delaney Barkfried, who's returning as well. Done a really nice job transitioning to her sophomore year. She's a little bit different. So Maddie's going to throw down and hard. Rylan's going to throw up and hard. And Delaney's going to throw more floaty, soft. And then we have Erica Hogue, who's returning, who was on the all-freshman team last year. Did a really nice job for us, and she's our locator, and a little bit of off speed. Then we have Josie Lashley, who's a left-handed pitcher, so we have one lefty on the staff, freshman who also hits, so she kind of does both. But touching on the pitching staff, obviously losing Randy has been a little difficult, because it's hard to have someone there for 4 years and then make the move to brand new. Macy's been catching. Obviously, Macy's number one job is to hit the structure. But she does a good job of that, and I think it's kind of helped her kind of relax and not put so much weight on, I got to hit a home run or whatever goes through her brain. But she's always been willing to go in the bullpen, but now she's kind of transitioned to actually looking for time behind the plate. Amaya Green's a freshman that came in that is a catcher. She's also a hitter as well. So she'll get some time back there. And then Lauren Satterley's a freshman that has worked her way to catching, just an athlete. She won the state tournament as a pitcher here in Kentucky, is a shortstop. Now she's behind the dish. So, you like athletes. So I think our catchers have done a really good job with our pitching staff. Obviously, for me, I'm a little biased towards them. I'm maybe a little too hard on them at times, but they've done a great job. They're encouraging, they're always there, they always put in extra time. They are servant leaders, and that's what we need from our catching staff. So I think you'll like the variety that we have in our pitching staff this year, and I'm hoping they enjoy each other and can build off of each other.
You got about a month until Missouri State when the conference opener. What do you look to kind of get out? What are you looking for these 4 weekends before you get into conference play with all your non-conference stuff?
Yeah, trying to see who our competitors are. You know, you can be a cage rat, but we need people that go out and do it when the lights are on. And so trying to figure out that pattern, and even with catching and pitching, like there's connections there that happen that, you know, a pitcher throws better than this person. Obviously, we don't want the hitting to go down with Macy catching. Like, I mean, there's just different things that we're looking for to figure out our offense. I think we should be better offensively than we were last year, and we should be better as a whole in the circle as last year. And we should be faster and quicker on the bases. And so I feel a little bit more complete this year for this team, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of those boxes being checked. But I want to see them compete. You know, obviously the goal is to be peaking when we get to May. And so these games are trying to figure out, we've got people that play multiple positions and trying to figure out what lineup works the best. Who's going to end up winning a spot, you know, come play Missouri State. But these games are to help me as well to figure out that part and my coaching staff. So I think they're pretty resilient and a good group to work with is how I would describe them.
Coach, you talk about putting this roster, how they had to grind last year, being such a new group, a bunch of younger players. But this year, does it kind of make your job a little bit easier? You know, you return pretty much the whole team. They have that chemistry. They know what to expect from you. Does that kind of make your life a little bit easier going this year?
Yeah, number one, knock on wood, I'm not injured this year. Okay, I was going 2 years strong, so no broken bones yet. So that's one monkey off my back. Number two, absolutely. You know, they know the drill. You don't have to remind them. The upperclassmen have done a really good job of, hey, this is what we do and this is how we do it, and the freshmen have kind of fallen in line. But that young team has now understood, like, what does it take to win these games and why all of these games matter. And I think just the mentality has switched a little bit. The focus, they always practice extra. I will say that about our team. Last year, this year, the year before, they put in the time. So there's no complaint from that point of view. But now it's like, it's go time for us. So 100% a lot easier for me to make sure everyone's on the bus.
When you look at this conference as a whole, too, obviously Liberty has done what they've done since they've been in conference. Louisiana Tech has, I think, both a pitcher and the player of the year this year in preseason. But you guys got, you guys are kind of considered right there in the mix. You got a first place vote from somebody, too, so there's somebody up there. How do you feel like, the team is going in that? What do you kind of the expectations of another challenging season in this conference?
I think our expectation is to be at our best. And no matter who on paper got awards, paper tigers don't win wars. So I feel like, those things are great. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like we want to be at our best and focus on what we're doing, no matter who we're playing, because if we're playing La Tech, who we don't play in the regular season, but if we're playing La Tech and we're playing, UNCG, who we play this weekend, we should come out with the same type of focus and same type of energy every time that we come out. There's a little more weight, but you want to play your best. You got to respect the game, respect your opponents, and go out and put your best foot forward.
Heading into these first couple of games, as a coach, what are you, going into this season, most looking forward to see come together in these first couple of games out there?
Yeah, I would say our chemistry to come together, trying to figure out that, how does this work together? Which pitcher can start games? Which pitcher can be a middle reliever? What pitcher can be a saver? Who can handle behind the dish? Like, which infield group looks the best? Obviously, there's a couple of spots that are still kind of up for grabs. So that will be really, really a nice moment for me once somebody goes and gets those spots. Someone, hey, this is where I'm here this weekend, and then they grow to the next weekend, they're ready to say, hey, I'm going to take a step up. That part is unknown. You think you know going into the season. I've done this long enough. Usually that starting lineup in February changes about April. So, I'm all about who's got the hot hand, who is performing. It's really not a guessing game. I'm pretty straightforward. I would say they would say I'm straightforward. But clear as kind. That's one thing I think is important. They're very smart girls. They make great grades. They go to class. They are leading Bible studies. I mean, they're checking a lot of boxes. We just have to grow from last year to this year. So for me, it's me figuring out a lot too. So, because you just don't know.
Macy, Maddie, for both of y'all, what are your emotions going into this first weekend? I know it's probably, you're really excited to just get this season underway. Just take me through how you're feeling this week.
I think just looking forward to the season, I would say some of the emotions that are come up, I'm excited. Obviously, this is my last year. I think just playing free and just having fun with my teammates and just being out there competing with my teammates is what I'm really looking forward to this upcoming year.
I would say the same. I'm really excited for this weekend and to just see how the team meshes together. We have such a great love for each other off the field, and I'm really excited to see how we can pursue that on the field as well.